2017 shows promise for a lot of shows and movies, and Steven Universe is no exception. Steven Bomb 5 at the end of this month will kick off Steven Universe for this year, and I'm sure this will be the beginning of many good things to come. I'm your host, Ostrich Vox, and in this video, I will go over things that will for sure happen and what I think will happen in 2017 for Steven Universe. Now, this won't be in any particular order, so some things I might say will happen and then some are just speculation. First things first, I'm going to call 2017 the year of the diamonds, because I have no doubts that we will see every diamond this year. This upcoming bomb is Pink Diamond focused, at least it seems to be. And between Steven's dream, Steven searching for more answers about Pink Diamond, it'd be weird if we didn't finally see her in a flashback. Our best bet is Steven's dream, but since she's no longer living, it would have to be a flashback told to Steven or Steven having a dream about Pink Diamond by entering someone else's subconscious. And then there's Yellow Diamond. Taking from what we know at San Diego Comic-Con, Dee Dee Magna-Hall said she recorded a song for Yellow Diamond as backing vocals, assumably Yellow Pearl. Since these episodes are done far in advance, that episode will be aired this year, which means we will have the return of Yellow Diamond and her Pearl. I'm betting on her appearing and that'll be all, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a Yellow Diamond arc similar to Jasper's arc at the end of Season 3, where we have multiple episodes focusing on Yellow Diamond as the antagonist, possibly leading up to her defeat. No matter how it plays out, we're definitely going to see Yellow Diamond this year, and I hope she brings her best meme face. And then there's Blue Diamond. Again, Dee Dee Magna-Hall seems to be the main one spilling on the Steven Universe tea, because she also said she did some voice work for Blue Pearl. She has a voice for Blue Pearl. And while a lot of people like to imagine that means Blue Pearl somewhere on Earth, the Crystal Gems have been searching for corrupted gems for thousands of years. I feel like they would have encountered Blue Pearl already. Simply because, unlike corrupted gems, Blue Pearl still has her mind, her sanity. She would have tried to get off Earth by now. And I'm sure the gems could have caught her at the warp pad, so I can only imagine she's with her diamond, Blue Diamond. And if we're gonna hear her voice this year, and since pearls won't stray too far away from their diamonds, that means we're likely gonna see Blue Diamond this year. Now, whether it be in a flashback or in person, that's to be decided, but I find it weird if Yellow Diamond would get more involved in the story and Blue Diamond didn't. They both got introduced around the same time, although Yellow Diamond's role in the story is definitely bigger. All that really leaves is White Diamond. With all the information we have so far, she's the only one we might not hear a peep out of this year, but it seemed odd to leave her out of the party. But if everyone's assumptions and theories are true, White Diamond is the true final boss of Steven Universe, at least when it comes to the diamonds. Her presence should be the most threatening one, so it makes sense she'd be the last one they introduce, because as it stands right now, she is the last one to introduce. She hasn't even been mentioned by name yet, but I feel like this year will change all of that. Not only will we get a proper name drop, but we'll get a proper introduction. We will see White Diamond this year too, completing the 4 diamonds. What else can we expect from Steven Universe in 2017? Well, I believe we're going to get a Season 6 and 7 announcement. In the past, I've doubted the chances of a renewal, that Season 5 would be the end. But one thing has actually swayed my mind the other way. Recently, storyboarder Amber Rogers, which by the way, congratulations on your marriage if you somehow ever hear this, listen to this, had a stream and said she may possibly not be storyboarding Steven Universe anymore by 2018. What that means is up to interpretation, but however, if that means Steven Universe would end in 2018, or at least their schedule right now only goes up to 2018 unless they get a renewal, well, these episodes take a year to make. Without a doubt, they already start working on Season 5, which would likely start this year since we're already more than halfway through Season 4. And the show is always in production, which means they're probably always storyboarding. Well, let's say they finish storyboarding Season 5 this year. Like I said, these episodes take a year to make. Hell, episodes they're working on this year, they said they were working on back in 2015. So what could they possibly be working on now that would be airing next year if the show ends, let's say, early to mid 2018? Well, more episodes. So I'll take this with a grain of salt, but I would like to believe that Steven Universe was going to get renewed for Season 6 and 7 this year. We'll get a formal announcement. Rebecca Sugar said, "Endgame or not, I'm writing Gus into a corner and shooting for the stars for Season 5, which means it could be the end, but it may not be the end." It was a really open-ended question because she couldn't say, she wasn't allowed to say. I say Season 6 and Season 7 because really that's just one season order. Season 4 and 5 was really Season 3. 52 episodes is really 26 because even though they aired as 12-minute segments, they're still produced as 2 segments together. So really a standard season order is 52 episodes or 26 half hours. Beyond Season 6 and 7, I believe this year we'll have the return of Jasper. And I don't just mean corrupted, I mean uncorrupted. And while a lot of people are indifferent on Jasper returning, or becoming a quote-unquote good guy, I read a really good Tumblr post recently that I'm going to make a video on, giving credit to the source of course, that explains Jasper's side of things a little bit more from a veteran. I believe Jasper will return, And she won't be a big bad threat anymore, and while I don't think she'll become a crystal gem, I do think she'll become an anti-hero. Outside of Jasper, a sure thing is the return of the rubies. I believe they're going to appear in Season Bond 5. In fact, a lot of people seem to think that. All signs point to it, and I don't think I need to elaborate again on why I think they would return. Just look at the episode synopsis and put 2 and 2 together and you get the gist of why they would return. After that is Centipeetle. And I'm going to make a video on this, but I actually believe Centipeetle was under Pink Diamond's court. Or transferred to Pink Diamond's court, I'll explain in a video. I believe that this year we'll see the return of Centipeetle again, but this time she'll play a somewhat bigger role in the story. And then there's Bismuth. One of the beginning episodes of Season 4 was Mindful Education, in which Steven showed guilt over what happened to Bismuth, Jasper, and Eyeball. If we're getting Jasper and Eyeball, then we might as well get Bismuth too. It only makes sense he would try to make amends with her too. And I said it before, but I'll say it again. Bismuth is only one good conversation away from becoming a fully redeemed crystal gem. She can definitely be reasoned with, and we need her and Lapis to have a little confrontation. I'm sure they'll both have some interesting words to say. Something that is for sure happening is Peridot's star. Not only do we have confirmation that it does exist, but once again, these episodes were made a year in advance. We found out her star was a for sure thing last year, so it lines up perfectly. Since they kind of been foreshadowing it more and more lately, I definitely think we're going to get an answer on what happened if Steven can poof. Personally, I don't think he can poof, but I'll explain that in a future video. I feel like Matt Burnett was actually being serious when he said if Steven poofs, he dies. And as much as I want him to age up, there are multiple reasons why Steven has yet to actually age up in the series. At least my hypothesis behind that, but like I said, that'll be in the video on if Steven can actually poof or not. I'm also making a video on, which is already recorded, on who could be the next fusion in the show, what fusions we might see this year. Without spoiling that video, I do think we're going to get a Steven and Peridot fusion next. Or at least that'll be one of the many fusions we see this year. 2014 we got 3 fusions, which is Opal, Sugalite, and Alexandrite. 2015 we got 3 more fusions, which is Rainbow Quartz, Malachite, and Sardonyx, and the Garnet reveal. In 2016, all we really got was Smoky Quartz. Wait, how can I forget 2014 we also got Stevani. So 2016 was definitely the lowest year for fusions, but hopefully this year picks that right back up. In terms of new gems, I think we're going to see Peridot's manager. I think we're going to see the gems that was in the mural from Series Steven, because those weren't diamonds. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what if they're early designs? And I'm just going to disagree with that, because it seemed like by the time the show started, even if they didn't have a finished design for the diamonds, they definitely had a clear idea of where their gem cut was, as shown by early storyboards of the exact same mural. And it would have been retconned in Buddy's book. That being said, those are definitely some higher elite gems, but they're not the diamonds. But I do believe we'll see those gems this year. Hopefully Centipeetle gets uncorrupted and we see what gem she actually is. I'm still betting on a Nephrite. Gem War flashbacks are a given. And as always, with plot episodes comes Beach City episodes, or as some people call it, filler episodes, so definitely expect those in 2017. I wouldn't expect any during the Steven bombs, just because the Crewniverse said, like, they gotten used to writing in a 5-episode bomb format for their story arcs, for their plot episodes. But episodes like Tiger Philanthropist is still coming, so I definitely expect some Peridot and Lapis moments this year. Not like Lapidot, but like episodes focused on them. Hopefully we get some kind of Lapis arc, and I definitely want to see them interact with Beach City citizens. And since Tiger Philanthropist is going to be after Steven Bomb 5, if Jasper somehow gets uncorrupted during the events of that bomb, then I can see her playing a role in Tiger Philanthropist. But for now, that's just a very wild guess, but unless they go to Season 1 style, the gems being involved with the Beat City episodes, it will probably just be a Beat City only episode. I can also see Greg having some episodes this year, releasing some involvement in the episodes. Same with Connie, definitely with Connie. While I don't think she's going to go into space with them, I do think she'll play a role in Gem episodes because she started to play more of a bigger role in them. Now for returning characters, these are all just wild guesses. I'm assuming we're going to see Kevin, Marty, Mr. Frowny again this year. Mr. Frowny because they already said they don't do one-off episodes, one-off characters. So I definitely expect a follow-up episode with him, and I said Kevin and Marty just because Kevin's arc definitely didn't seem to be over in Beach City Drift. In fact, him throwing a tantrum over Savine not giving him attention seems to be set up for a next episode. Maybe he'll start going out of his way to just like harass them. And while Marty doesn't exactly need to return, I'd like to see his character expanded on too. And I'm going to be completely honest, if Season 5 isn't the end and we do have a Season 6 and 7, I wouldn't mind another Summer of Steven event. While I do think it's unlikely, I would love to have another one just because, you know, that was my start on YouTube, was during the Summer of Steven, anticipating it, and then when it actually happened, and I loved reviewing episodes every day. It was actually pretty fun, but the schedule this year might be really unpredictable just because we don't know if Season 5 is the last one or not, because if it is, they're like right there to the final season. But if it isn't, then it's like, how are they going to air this? It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. Hopefully we don't get that many hiatuses, but like I said, I'm going to expand on this channel more, so we'll have a lot of content in between Steven Universe content. I forgot the cluster. Yeah, I also definitely think the cluster will come back. If Yellow Diamond's getting involved, the cluster's gonna get involved. I think that's just common logic. especially since like her whole thing is she wants Earth to be destroyed with the cluster. I imagine Uncle Andy will pop back up too. Now, one thing I mentioned in my last video, I do want to kind of get like a new cartoon avatar, more than if it's like the style of Steven Universe and it's more cartoony. And I actually really like the drawings and submissions I've gotten so far, but there are just a few side notes. This is gonna be the most nitpicky of them all, with like just like my jawline. If it could be drawn somewhat like that, like my current one is. My hair kind of extends outward, but it's also not a flat top, and it's usually curly, but there's no product in it right now. And my glasses are more like this, more like the modern day hipster glasses. This is kind of hard to draw because I'm drawing it like one-handed without like holding the paper down or anything. And it's just like very like rush job. So yeah, something like that. Oh god, that's bad. Alright, I put the phone down and actually drew, I guess better. I still don't think this looks that great, but I don't know, something like this I think would be... The problem with this drawing is just like, it's really off from the face. Like, this face right here does not fit properly on this head. Or the head isn't big enough for the face. I mean, something along those lines. But yeah, something like this would do. Also, one more thing. I made a roundtable Discord. I know a lot of people are asking me to make a Discord. So I did make a server, and links to that will be in the description. So yeah, please join. I'll make a proper video on that eventually. There's just a lot of content I want to make this week, so yeah. And if for any reason anyone want to make like a roundtable subreddit, go ahead. I was considering doing it, but I didn't do it yet, and I don't honestly feel like making one. And yeah, these are my thoughts for what's going to happen in 2017 for Steven Universe. And I'm standing by 2017 being the year of the diamonds. But what do you guys think? Please comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts, your predictions, your opinions on my thoughts, etc. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Stalk me on social media. Links to everything in the description down below. Oshrik Vots, signing out.